to episode 2 of Phidippides TV. I'm Kevin Graham, and this is my colleague Gregory. And today we're going to be discussing a few things. We're going to be discussing 2 new neutral shoes to Phidippides, as well as the fall half marathon lineup. And we're also going to show you some fun about our group runs this week. First off, though, we're going to talk about what basically makes running specialty so special. And Greg, you have something to say?
Yeah.
Go ahead, please, by all means.
Hi, everyone. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What do the names Jeannie Beaver and Will Kramer, Charles Cope, Clay Scarborough, Mike Costantino, Jim and Jan Braley have in common?
They're all owners of running specialty stores.
You knew that.
I'm all over it. Yeah, and they're part of the running specialty family, I guess, within the Atlanta community. And I can tell you from Phidippides' standpoint, we've got certain things that we think that make running specialty so special. And one of them is just attention to the customer or the client or the guest or whatever you would like to call the person that comes in that needs new running shoes. What about you, Greg?
Well, back to this group. I personally know these people. I have, with the exception of maybe one, have hugged all of them.
Right. Yeah. You're a bit of a hugger.
Yeah. And I know for a fact that there's a love, a passion for running, and that's the reason that they do what they do, or we do what we do.
Right, but it's more than just a passion for running, because a lot of people really like running.
Sure.
It's a passion for their running, but also other people's running.
Right.
I think is maybe a better way to.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
And that's true. I think that's true about us. I think that's true about the people that you mentioned. I can't ramble off the same names, but you have notes. But I think paying attention to product, paying attention to the runner's needs. Providing outlets, whether it be group runs or clinics or seminars, is absolutely what distinguishes those folks and ourselves from any other channel that you might be interested in. You can gain a lot of knowledge just by walking into a running specialty store, whether you purchase anything or not. Everybody that works at a running specialty store pretty much runs or has run at some point. So there's kind of that camaraderie, that trial by fire. They know what's going on. Would you agree with it?
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think the concept that it is a sorority, which I like better than fraternity.
As opposed to fraternity?
Yeah.
Due to you're tapping into your feminine
That's
side?
correct.
Okay.
And that just what is literally sets it apart from, as you said, other avenues for running product.
Excellent. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about are a couple of the new neutral shoes that Phidippides has. The first we're going to talk about is the Saucony Echelon, the new Saucony Echelon. And Gregory, what is the biggest change and or what's important about that shoe that a customer needs to know?
Well, what is important, thank you, Kevin, the Echelon heritage has definitely been beneficial and useful for us because of the platform, the traditional platform years ago that the Echelon maintained. Platform meaning the base, the footprint that the person's foot is on top of. And a particular platform like this essentially accentuates the inherent support, the bilateral support, the versatility nature of a shoe.
Making it more balanced?
Exactly, exactly. You read my mind. And so therefore, a person that has a lateral outward inclination, or a person that has a small tendency for some medial or inward roll, a platform that is designed like this can literally support that and guide that and center that. So moving forward, we've had 2 or 3 versions of the Echelon that did not meet our standards for that. And this is the first one that does. Or at least when we saw the brief and we saw the design skinny, we were excited about it, knowing that it did have the platform. Other things about this shoe, the new Echelon, it's light, relative to the type of shoe that it is. It's very flexible. It has at least a 7 or 8 millimeter thickness insole that really gives it that plush type feel to it, and it definitely has what we like the most, a toe box that allows toe splay, the natural setting of the foot, that really accommodates a nice volume foot without any hanging over. So it achieves what we call foot framing to the max.
Now,
So
does it achieve the balance that we want it to
well,
achieve?
that
in
was
midsole?
the so
But
part. I didn't want to say but, Kevin. There are things in shoe design that can interfere with the integrity of a shoe or enhance the integrity of a shoe, meaning the midsole and how it works and functions. And in this particular case, unfortunately, that balance that you mentioned has been compromised as a result of probably a cosmetic sculpting or contouring on the medial side of the midsole. And what I mean by that, girls and boys, ladies and gentlemen out there, is if you cut a tree in your yard that's rotten and you want to make sure that it falls away from your neighbor's house, you do the little V in it, and then you can kind of directionally, manipulate the fall of the tree. Well, the same principle adheres to midsoles and shoes. If there is a line that's scooped into the midsole and there's pressure from the top and bottom, you're going to automatically get like a collapse or an integrity breach or weakness in that area. So therefore, the Echelon, with all of the great things that we've said about it and that we like about it, does not achieve that inherent support because of the scoping or skyping of the cosmetic contour in the midsole. So it literally can have the ability to compress if there's some slight pressure towards it. On the positive of that, which niches it a little bit, it so far has proven to be very, very beneficial for someone with a very lateral inclination, or maybe you guys have heard of the term supination, or landing on the outside and standing on the outside. This particular shoe has exceptional integrity on the lateral side, which is again the problem. Its laterally integrity is overcompensating for the medial lack of, and so you have to have a very neutral, stable foot to stay balanced in this shoe.
Got it. Okay. Thank you, Gregory. Next shoe we're going to look at is the New Balance 880. So Gregory,
Yay.
tell me in a nutshell, what are your thoughts on the new 880?
Very good.
That's also a shoe we've had different iterations
Sure.
of, and then this is the latest and greatest.
Right, and that's all I need to say. It is the latest and greatest. It has finally come to a development that really does what we like for it to do. It's not super light. It's comfortably light. The cushioning by virtue of feedback from customers feels soft and plush. There's a really nice degree of flexibility to it. And then what I like about it is, again, you're going to hear us talk a lot about foot framing, something that Phidippides has kind of coined and come up with, literally to try to emphasize how important it is for the foot to be within the boundaries of the shoe. And this particular shoe does a really good job at that. Literally, it just has a nice shape to the toe box, and it's very adequate for that. There's a little bit of room in the heel area, so far people that have had somewhat of a narrow heel may have experienced some slipping.
What do we do? What do we have?
Yeah,
options
sure,
we
you
do
can.
for that?
In this case, the slippage is not horrendous, so loop lacing, stirrup lacing can, for the most part, take
Lacing
care
to
of
the
it.
last
The
eyelet?
top two,
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
Otherwise, if it's still slipping, obviously it's not the correct shoe for the person.
Right.
But overall, definitely a thumbs up on the new iteration of the 880.
Okay. So those are a couple of the new shoes, the New Balance 880 and the Saucony Echelon, coincidentally both the ladies' colors. Okay, now we're going to check in with our colleagues that are over at the Orpheus Brewery run. Guys, how's it going over there?
We're having a great time tonight at Orpheus Brewing. I have an Atalanta.
And I have a empty glass.
It was a great run. It's a muggy night, but we're having fun. Back to you.
Kevin.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about are the 3 major half marathons this fall. With the summer hopefully waning and the heat dying down, we're going to get into the fall where the weather's going to change and the running's going to feel magnificent, and we've got 3 really good half marathons in the fall season in Atlanta. The first one is the Michelob Ultra Half Marathon on Sunday, October 4th. And Gregory, do you know that they've changed the course for the 3rd year in a row? They've got, well, the 2nd year in a row, I guess, they've got a new course. Were you aware of that?
Absolutely, I did not know.
Okay, I didn't think you knew. I just wanted to put him on the spot. But they do have a new course. The new course is going to be up, somewhere in the general area of the intersection of I-75 and 285. And what's cool about it is they are going to incorporate some of the new property that the new Brave Stadium is going to be, which is somewhat controversial, obviously, but it will incorporate some of the areas that the new stadium and that new area. The course it's going to have its share of rolling hills, just like anything in Atlanta, and it is going to wind around. Just looking at the map, it does look a little bit elaborate. I mean, obviously it's going to be well marked, so there's not going to be anybody getting lost. The folks at Lifetime Fitness put on a great event every year, so I'm sure it's going to be awesome. The next half marathon to talk about would be the Atlanta Half Marathon on Thanksgiving Day, which this year is Thursday, November 26th. And Gregory, do you have any specific knowledge about the Thanksgiving half?
Absolutely not.
Well, its course is again going to be an in-town course. They changed the course 4, 5, 6 years ago from the old course, which started way back by past or near Brookhaven, going down to the stadium. And now I believe it still starts at the stadium, but it starts and finishes at the stadium. It's a pretty challenging course. Again, just like anything in Atlanta, up and down a lot of the hills. I've not seen the new course. I don't know if they're going to tweak it from last year. The map isn't out on the Atlanta Track Club's website. But you can bet, again, it's going to be an extremely well-run event on Thanksgiving Day. And rest assured, you're going to be able to earn your turkey, as they like to say. Greg, anything else to say about that?
You have adequately described the first 2.
Awesome, thank you. And lastly, and arguably the best half marathon of the group, is the Jeff Galloway 13.1, and that is Sunday, December 13th. This is the 2nd annual, and that's obviously the Phidippides owner, Jeff Galloway, puts that race on. And Gregory, do you have anything to say about that race?
I could say so much about that race that I'm just going to let you.
Are you biased?
Finish.
Are you biased for that race?
Only a little bit.
Okay, I am too. But that race, for the most part, the course is going to stay the same from last year, which is a net drop. And it sounds like this is a big sales pitch, which it is. But the course will start up by the Federal Reserve. It will incorporate parts of the Freedom Path or Freedom Parkway. Will also include the false flat / downhill section of the Beltline, but it too has its fair share of hills. It's a small sample size, but I did get some reports from people last year that they improved a couple of minutes over their time of either of the other 2 halves in Atlanta. So, with the caveat being it is an Atlanta course, which can be challenging and not flat, it's arguably the fairest of the 3. And again, very well run event. People had a great time. We're expecting probably double the numbers of last year. And there's also the Barb 5K the day before, which is Saturday, December 12th. It'll start and finish in Piedmont Park, and the festivities will be here at Phidippides. Also, it was an extremely well run, well received event last year, and we're expecting probably twice the numbers this year. So hopefully you will participate in one or all of those half marathons. I mean, if you're the type of runner that can do all 3, even better. If not, do the Jeff Galloway 13.1, because that's the one that we believe in the most.
And there is a fun expo.
Yeah, there's an excellent expo. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I believe that's going to be downtown, but definitely go on their website and check out where the expo as well as the course is. So that'll do it for the preview of the half marathons in Atlanta. Okay, so if you want to train for any of those half marathons that we mentioned, Phidippides has a free long run series. The next run is August 29th. We're doing an 8 and a 12-mile run. Then September 26th, August 17th, November 21st, and December 5th. Go to our Facebook page and our events page and check those. But they're all free long runs to get you ready for any of those halves in the fall. And again, thank you for watching Phidippides TV. And on behalf of my colleague Gregory, I'm Kevin Graham. Thank you very much.